Right, let's take you to this case now. The court case to declare rolling blackouts unconstitutional resumes in the High Court in Pretoria this morning. A full bench of judges is hearing the application brought by 19 litigants, including political parties, unions and individuals. NUMSA and other unions will also be protesting outside the court. South Africans enjoyed the longest outage-free period since December this weekend, but power cuts are expected to continue for at least the next 2 weeks. Let's go to Pretoria now, where we find my colleague and reporter Manqoba Mchunu. He's watching this particular case and joins us now live. Manqoba, first of all, has the case started? Are you on a tea break or something at the moment?
Well, Masiko, the case has not started. In fact, we understand that it's going to be starting in about a few minutes from now at 11:30. And of course, we understand that there were some issues that had to be ironed out. But crucial to this case, of course, Masiko, is the demand for load shedding to be declared unconstitutional. You recall that there are several political parties which have taken government to court, and unions and trade federations, SAFTU, that are part of this litigation. There are 19 litigants all in all that are really challenging this issue of load shedding. They are saying that load shedding has had a negative impact on South Africans, and more especially to the provision of some of the key crucial public service, which include health. And I think over the past few days, the court hearing scathing testimony here about how load shedding has led to the deaths of some people at some of the public hospitals, and how this continues to be a crisis as far as the issues, some of the public service issues are concerned. But just to give us a sense of what to expect here in court is one of the political parties that is here in court, Build One SA. And I'm joined right now by the leader of Build One SA, Mmusi Maimane. Mr. Maimane, thank you very much for your time. Let's just start here. Your arguments here in court. What is it exactly that you're saying here in court about load shedding and what you want to see done?
Well, I think our submission was that load shedding impacts the rights of citizens. The right to health, the right to safety, the right to trade, the right to study. And our argument was that actually all institutions that are set up to deliver those particular services to citizens, hospitals, they must be given alternative energy, and we must augment energy. And so I'm confident today, as this delay has taken place, that it will be a significant victory for Build One South Africa as we deliver on the fact that in the main we will compel the government to issue an alternative and an augmented energy supply for hospitals, for schools, for places where people can trade. And ultimately this will be one of those historic cases in our country. If you consider cases around the provision of ARVs, today is a provision of energy to make sure we can trade and we can deliver on constitutional rights for the people of this country.
There's been arguments, of course, in court about the fact that load shedding could have been prevented, and that really it's the government that should take accountability for this. Is this what you're arguing here in court as well?
Absolutely. It's been 15 years of constitutional failure. Furthermore, we know that money was looted out of government. We also know that in the build program of Eskom, they failed to deliver the right things, that boilers were not built properly. So ultimately, this is a government failure, and the government must be held to account. That's why today we're here. We've cited the Minister of Public Enterprise, we've cited the Presidency, and we've included Eskom in that, because we believe the argument must be made that they must be held accountable with a tangible plan. And ultimately, we want for citizens, we want to make sure the lights stay on and the economy can work. And I've also proposed, even in our 10-point plan, that provide alternative energy like nuclear, use other forms, so that we can stabilize the grid and grow our economy.
Let's talk about this particular issue, because I know that this is one of the issues that you've also been raising as far as the provision of electricity is concerned. Of course, some of the concessions that you're talking about here, one would say that government has already indicated that they are going to be dealing with some of the issues, the exemptions that we speak of here. You're saying that you want to see exemptions in some of these crucial sectors. Wouldn't you then be jumping the gun as far as that is concerned? Because what government is saying is that they've now appointed a Minister of Electricity who's going to deal with these issues.
Government has always tabled plans. It's been 15 years of load shedding. We want the courts to give us an order to say, so that when the government fails, We have a court order against them. A pronouncement that is made even at State of the Nation address. We saw the delays. And in the government's answering affidavit, their simply argument is that if we don't load shed, we'll end up with Venezuela. Now, that can't be. We want an alternative plan rather than living in fear of a reality that the government has been instrumental in creating. So what we are arguing for is that we want a court order, wanted to make it an order of the court to say energy must be provided, alternative sources must be given, and ultimately, whether they appoint the Minister of Energy or Public Enterprise or whatever, that's how the government implements its plan. But we, the citizens, know that our plan is going to be held to be account by this court when we come back here.
And do you have any hope, though, that there will be any resolution to load shedding? I know we've been given 2 years as a possible period in which we can see an end to load shedding. Do you think that there will be any change as far as this and what this court case is going to come out?
It's the most, as I said, it's the most significant court case in our democratic history in many ways, as it deals with constitutional rights of people for energy. I think there will be a solution for load shedding, and we've proposed some. In our court papers, we've made it quite clear there are alternatives we can look at. And ultimately, for South Africa, it has to get to renewable energy in the next 10 years to make sure that comes on board. We cannot rely on this government, though, to be able to simply deliver on that plan. That's why we are seeking relief from the courts. But I furthermore want to say, I do believe there will be resolution on the back of the fact that demand is going to decrease as citizens augment their own energy. You know, they install solar plants as citizens, as business begins to take on different build programs. That will reduce demand and ensure that there's stability. And that's why in this weekend, this long weekend, we've had very limited load shedding because demand has decreased. Now, we can't rely on only the decrease of demand as a solution for load shedding. We need to augment, and that's part of our 10-point plan.
Okay. Thank you very much for speaking to us. So that's one SA leader, Mmusi Maimane, just articulating some of their arguments here in court. Of course, we're here to hear what those concessions are that he says could possibly be made in this particular case. But key to those, of course, as he has highlighted, Masiho, is the relief that they're seeking from this court as far as some of the crucial sectors are concerned, the health services, the education services, the police, as well as the water infrastructure, which they want to be exempted from load shedding.
All right, Manqoba Mchunu live for us in the High Court in Pretoria. Let's leave it there for now.